Friends, you have heard Jignesh. In the face of this Gujarat agitation, but as he said, it is not he alone. Somebody just comes forward. It is not he alone. People have been there with him, and it has been a range of masses that manifested in Mona. One should understand where does Mona fit in the schema of Hindutva. But if it is not clear, perhaps we might miss certain thoughts. What do these people want to achieve? That needs to be understood clearly. Okay? What do they really want to achieve? In one word, they have said it themselves that they want to create a Hindu Rashtra out here. What does Hindu Rashtra mean? Hindu Rashtra does not mean just a kind of depiction, like Manu-ism, etc. we got back and all that. It's not just possible. Times have changed, it's not possible, but they do believe in that kind of paradigm, and it would be a rule of something like elitist kind of regime that they want to create out here. The parallel to be found in Mussolini's Italy or Hitler Germany. That kind of thing they want to create out here. Now it's not a simple thing. It's not a simple thing. Why does do they want to sort of batter Dalit just like that? No, they cannot afford it. You would see that they have been trying, because entire Hindutva project actually rests upon Dalit being good and being on their side. Okay, so it is not easy that Dalit could be just battered unnecessarily. They want to create something like, they want to create a division, okay? Division of kind that to the extent possible they will do Dalit and get them on their side. And they have been successful to a large extent. The middle class Dalit, the kind of political class of Dalit actually is on their side. Today, the BJP holds maximum number of reserved seats among Dalits. That is perhaps an example of it. And the rest of Dalits who actually try to voice something like in a radical way, they want to isolate them. They have got vocabulary to isolate them. You can label them as something like Naxalite, Maoist, Marxist, Communist. All kinds of things are there. They can be easily labeled. Rohit Memula has been a victim of that. They tried out there to sort of capture the campuses through their outfit with ABVP, and they tried that kind of thing. But that boomerang, because almost they had done it, but for this suicide of Rohit. Now, so this kind of thing keeps happening. So this trade was picked up by JNU out here, and then they try to create a different kind of thing, because they actually picked against Dalit. Here they wanted to sort of create an anti-national, call them an anti-national thing, etc., lift them up. That kind of thing also boomerang, because this movement produced certain heroes out of students, and which actually caught imagination of people all over the country. I am privy to many things, and I can assure you there are student networks are being formed in most of the universities. No time actually in IIT Kharagpur, I have been there, and there this kind of reverberations were actually could be seen on the streets. No time in history IIT Kharagpur actually took interest in such kind of matters, but there is Bhagat Singh Ambedkar Study Circle formed, and they are each spearheading actually build a network of IITs and NITs. And so in the case where there are certain students who have been on the project of creating or getting in the central universities like yours. I don't need to explain, because we have also come from student movement, and I can tell you in a brief that if this country has any kind of future or its kind of current trend could be changed, it's only student who could change it. There is no other social force that can change really that kind of thing. So take it from me that your role in this kind of movement is going to be vital. We are talking about Una. Jignesh told many things. I would tell you certain more things about Una or Gujarat as at large. I wrote in the context of Una agitation that Gujarat showed the way. Gujarat displayed many khashiyats, specialities, like it gave us a Gandhi, it gave current Narendra Modi, the monster, and now it can also probably give its kind of antithesis in the form of Una. Okay? Una, the Dalit population is just 7.1% of the total population. It's less than half of the national average of the Dalits, 16.6. Okay? And Gujarat, particularly this part of it, Saurashtra, have maximum number of princely states. And these Darbars who actually with the Dalit out there in Una claim the legacy of that kind of princely state. They are Darbars, So if you go and see Gujarat, you would find this so feudal and so repressive kind of atmosphere in villages that Dalit do not have almost rights. So this is the kind of paradigm, but as it happens, like 1972, Dalit Panther was born in Bombay, and the first kind of its pre-emergence in some any other state was the Gujarat. In 73, Dalit Panthers was born in Gujarat. Okay, there was this kind of euphoria. Thereafter, again there was a lull. Because Gujarati Dalit again displayed a different kind of characteristics. They were not under influence of Ambedkar. Ambedkar used to go there during 1930s, etc. He had toured Gujarat and addressed the peasant conferences, etc. But still, it did not touch Gujarat Dalits. And Gujarati Dalits were under either that repressive kind of pressure or the Gandhian kind of influence. 1981, the first time the anti-reservation riots that happened, and I used to be studying in Ahmedabad or there, and we actually participated in those movements. For your information, that movement was more widespread than 2002 carnage that happened in Gujarat, both Dodra, Aanad. In that, the first time Dalits were so battered that the next 14th April had come and there was a spurt of Ambedkar Jayantis that was celebrated in Gujarat. Then 85, again there was a riot and again the Dalits were battered. So they lost sort of that kind of thing because they were only getting battered, and 86, by that time the RSS forces also realized that this is not going to pay, and they started doing actually implementing time, and they won over Dalits and got them to pull the Jagannath Rath in Ahmedabad. So this is the kind of thing, and after that, as Jignesh stated correctly, that this is the first kind of outburst that is actually manifested in Una in the context of this episode. So that needs to be understood. I admire that this movement actually has taken a right kind of stand, because Dalit alone cannot fight the battle. There are a lot of people, maybe amongst you also, who think that we can only fight our battle with the identity of Dalits, etc. But it is impossible, that cannot be done. Okay, this is just a sentiment that they voice. Otherwise, you have, unless the larger society is on his or you're supporting you, you probably cannot fight this kind of battle. As far how does cow fit in, that also needs to be understood. What is this cow and how it becomes a something like the monster killing people, that need to be understood. That conspiracy goes right into the Constituent Assembly when this Article 48 of the Directive Principles are being drafted, and the way it has been drafted, that needs to be properly seen. There was a strong lobby of Hindutva process. It came from 1881, Dayanand Saraswati and all those kinds of things, and the follows were there. Whatever names, that is not important. But these people drove in Constituent Assembly about the cow protection bill. Ambedkar was quite annoyed. Babasaheb Ambedkar was quite annoyed, but because that actually would go against the grain of secularism that they wanted to sort of capture in constitution. As such, that is again a misnomer. This Indian constitution is neither secular nor it is something like an anti-caste or something. I have been writing about that, and that kind of misunderstanding has been going rapidly. So the compromise formula was struck, and Ambedkar took upon himself to draft the article. That article firstly starts with something like an India would strive to organize agriculture, animal husbandry on scientific and rational basis, and then it says particularly it is something like a disconnect out there. The first kind of part and second part that follows, that it will particularly protect the cow and that kind of thing. That clause is there, but you can read it anyway easily. So that is the genesis of this cow thing that comes. Now, if you go by Supreme Court judgments, the first kind of case probably came up through some organization in Bihar, and that is Supreme Court on a cow bill. And Supreme Court held, the case was that this cow protection or the ban on cow slaughter actually violates the fundamental rights of people. It does, but Supreme Court held that it does not violate any fundamental right, but observed that the total ban on cow protection, cow slaughter, would not be in the interest of common public. That was being held until the recent judgment came in 2005, J.R. Lahoti. There was a case from Gujarat itself, the Birsa Mirzapur, some butchers, the Muslim community people had gone to Supreme Court, and that thing was adjudged by J.R. Lahoti. And he's actually authored that there is nothing, because there we are given the scope for the Hindu process, and they presented the bogus kind of fake economics that even the cow dung is actually more valuable than the Kohinoor. I mean, you could read it very easily, and it's such a funny kind of affair. And these people still believe that cow dung and cow urine, if it is exported, that would actually earn much more than what we are going to lose out of the export of beef. So there are certain anomalies that also needs to be probably understood in this context. Actually, the cattle census of 2012 observed that there has been a 6.2% growth over 2007 figures in cow protection. So when Modi came in elections and actually started kind of propagandizing that the Congress government had done a pink revolution and etc., does not hold. Because actually the population has been growing. Now, the same census observed that there have been 53 lakhs cows on actually roaming around street because they have been abandoned by their owners. So this is the kind of feature about cow. There are 280 million, almost 28.29% of world's cattle population is in India, and out of that, something like 123 million are the cow. Okay. Now just think of what does it mean? And Of course, you must have heard in papers, etc., that India stands to be the fourth largest producer of wheat. Topmost, it has beaten Brazil during Modi's time. It is the topmost kind of exporter of wheat and a fifth largest consumer of the wheat. And it is again a misnomer that wheat is eaten only by Muslims. It is not. When Vajpayee, in 2002, when Vajpayee actually set up a National Cattle Commission, it came out, you can read para 167 of it, the report says and admits that many people besides Muslim, Dalit, Adivasis and Indians and PCs eat beef because of the poverty or whatever, because that was a BJP set up commission, so they have to color it saying poverty, etc. As a matter of fact, culturally these people have been eating beef. And beef in a secular term, not going into something like culture vulture, secular term is the actually the source of cheap protein for the poor people. And all this thing actually coincide at the lower level, class, caste, etc., etc. It's instrumental at the lowest possible level at where the Dalits stand. So these all things need to be sort of understood. Okay, another paragraph, again you must have heard, but I just remind you, the 6 biggest exporters of beef today in the country are owned by, actually 4 out of 6 are owned by Hindus. And 2 out of that are the Brahmin themselves. So that also needs to be understood. Actually, this cow protection, now they are in a fix really. Their foot soldiers are out of control and they are going really berserk. But as a government, they are in fix. If it really persists up to the election time, etc., they would really have it. But they cannot take it back very quickly because they got into that fix now. Basically, it's a single most factor that it would actually going to be to cause a disaster, economic disaster in the country. Because it stands with simple logic that if the cows are not slaughtered or top sort of their productive age, who is going to sort of rear them? Can the farmers which are already distressed in villages, already in Maharashtra you must have heard that these people have come out in the open and asked the government to take care of cows. So these kind of things is going to, it's just a matter of time, it is going to actually boomerang very badly. Apart from the economics of it, it is hitting the livelihood of many people. There are 2.5 million people who have survived on the leather related business. Okay, there are 8 lakh Dalit, these are all census figures, 8 lakh Dalit who actually play the skin of dead cows, etc., and supply it to the Chamra mandis. As a Kanpur, there is one of the biggest mandis, etc. They actually gripped that there used to be 150 trucks per day that used to arrive in the mandi. Today it has come down to 3. So all this tamasha is going on in the country, and it is only probably the victims, if they come together as symbolically they have done in Pune, they only can arrest this trend. And really the kind of thing that they have unleashed might prove as a blessing in disguise, because otherwise if such kind of things is not taken up, these kind of people, those victims, those people, they would not be normally kind of arresting this Hindutva gang today. I think I stop here, and if anything is there in question answer, probably all of my colleagues or peers also would supplement it. Thank you.